Hey guys, welcome in. It's Matt the Rockin' Crocheter, and Fiber Jazz Rebecca is over in her comfy chair
Hello.
crocheting away.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hear
Rambling.
laughing and rambling and stuff, she's doing her little thing while I'm doing this. Because I wanted to come on and show you guys our yarn haul from the pictures I posted, which wasn't that big. It was small. Um, it wasn't any like huge yarn haul, but it was a yarn haul. So we went into Joann's, and I don't know what like I was expecting. Our Joann's is usually pretty well stocked and stuff. So that's what I was shooting for. And because I was looking for some Mexicana and, some, see what, they had. Because they usually have the Mexicana. And I like that colorway. But the big twist got me because it was on sale. So, pardon me. We picked up a few skeins of Big Twist. So the first one, since I was looking for the Mexicana, the one that stood out to me was this one, which has the same kind of colors as the Mexicana does. And this is Rainbow Wish. And this has, let's see, 269 yards, and it's a 4-weight. So they're saying it takes 3 of these to make a scarf, 1 of these to make a hat, 6 to make a sweater, and 13 to make a blanket. The blanket is 50 by 60 for 13 hanks, or 13 skeins. So I got a couple of these. I actually got 3 of them because I was having like an idea for to do another corner to corner, but do it in like the bright colors, because I know I'm sure the for Boggy Creek I want to get started early this year. So these are gonna go. I want these for a corner to corner for Boggy Creek. So I got those, which I really like. I mean, they're actually a lot softer than the Red Heart is. It feels a lot softer. I mean, it's not as it's not as scritchy as stiff as what the Red Heart is. So I think this is going to work a lot better, because the last one I sent for Boggy Creek, the Kaleidoscope one was Red Heart. It was all Red Heart that I had. The next color, and all the specs are the same on these, because they're all the big. These are all going to be Big Twist, and this colorway is Arcade Party. And I thought this was kind of cool, and it has more of the orange in it, and I like that. And our grandson, who was with us, he made an executive decision, because he always kind of makes executive decisions, and so he picked this out. So I thought it would be really cool. Maybe make him a blanket or something with these 3 colors. I think they go kind of neat. I mean, I think that would be a good a kid's blanket. So I'm gonna look into a pattern for that. But I think he would dig it, because he actually picked the orange. So he's got an eye. He went straight for like the fluorescent green too, and like the the highlighter yellow and like green. I was like, no, 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 no. That was too. That was way too bright. So those are some of the ones that I got. Rebecca actually got a few other colors and stuff.
You can show.
So, but and the next color I got, this was from my yarn haul, was this one. And I thought, like my cousin really likes like blues, and so I thought, this would be kind of neat to make her like, she likes scarves because I made her a shawl, and I don't think it went over that big. So, I want to make her a scarf because that's kind of what she asked for, and me being hard headed, I knitted her a shawl, and so, um, I gotta change it, and this one is the colorway on this one is, where is it? Blue ombre. And I think she'll like it. I know she watches, and I know she doesn't post comments, but this one's for you, and she knows who it is. Like, she knows who I'm talking to. So we've got that. We've got the blue. Another one that I really liked, and I had seen it before, and I was kind of waffling on the color. I was like, because I had used Big Twist, and I didn't kind of care for it at the time, so I'm giving it another shot. I know it's late in the game because of what's going on, but I hope it doesn't go away, because I know MDL, like, this is a brown that he uses and he really likes. But this was the colorway. I thought this was really cool. It's a pretty color. It's called Roller Rink, which I'm of that age that brings way memories. But there it is. So I like that one too. I like the colors. I like the bright colors, which those are more happy colors, and more youthful colors. But I tend to like for my own things, I tend to like darker colors. I like maroon, or like a crimson color, like a dark like blood red. I like dark purple. I like the grays. I tend to like those, the darker greens. I tend to like those quite a bit. I know Rebecca tends to go with the blues. And the and she tends to like those kind of colors. But when you ask, like, dark, she likes dark blue, like navy blue.
Okay.
What? Why are you giving me the hand?
Let me show
She's
them.
giving me the hand.
Hello, everybody. Okay, just two that I picked up today.
Yes.
Is this Big Twist. I like the colors, and like he said, I am prone to go into the blues, but this one's a variegated blue, and the colorway for this one is, I'll tell you right now, it's because it's the opposite way. Is Lake House. It's beautiful. Let me put it a little bit closer so you can see the colors. And the other one that I picked is it has a little bit of blue, but it veers into the grays and the green. And this one is called Spa Stripes. And I thought that was pretty. And kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. I thought it was pretty. And I picked up 4 of them. And the reason why I picked up Big Twist, because if I'm going to go there and pick up yarn, I might as well pick up some of their yarn if we're not going to be able to get their yarn anymore. I'll just pick up some. I also picked up it's a Bates, and with a wooden handle. I thought that would be good for working with that Bates. And this particular one is a 5.0 Bates, just to kind of give it a try for those projects that I need for that Bates. Okay, and that's it for my little haul for today. Great to see everyone.
So guys, back to me again. I promised that I would show how to put a hank on a Swift. This is my Swift. I don't have like the wooden one. I didn't know if I was gonna, stay with the knitting and the crocheting, and so I bought kind of stuff to try out. And I'll tell you what though, it's been a killer Swift. It's actually really nice. It does what I need it to do, and it wasn't like, I know the wooden ones are really nice, but this one, it does what it's supposed to do, and I've never had it like completely like go sideways on me. I got it on YouTube. Or got it on YouTube. I got it on Amazon, and it came with the Swift and the winder. The small winder I have is the same brand. Then I have the bigger one with the arm that like spins around. But this is the one that I got. And like I said, I got it on Amazon. I don't remember how much it was, because I've actually had it for a while. And actually have caked up quite a few skeins with this thing. And it works really well. At least it works really well for me. So really, it has like a couple of components to it. There's the end piece, which let me undo it because it was in the. This one does the clamp, which it goes on the bottom. So once this is open, you can put this how you want it. So typically it goes on like this. At least mine does. At least this one does. So you can put it on. Let's see. Yes, like this. So that way you can put it on the table or a piece of wood or whatever you're using. I actually use a little cutting board on mine because on our table we have a scallop, like like an inverted edge on the table, and so on that inverted edge it doesn't like to stay solid. So what I do is, let me get this on here. Hang on, guys. Let me get this. So I've tightened it onto my little cutting board. And that's the screw that I was showing on the side. What it does is it will give you it'll give you a angle of that's better. It'll give you an angle to tilt, that you can tilt it. Right now I have it like set straight up and down. Apologize for, like, we've got like stuff. Get this over a little bit. So it has a slide underneath. Let me scoot over before this thing pokes me in the face. So, and this, when it's not wrapped up on stuff, hang on. Okay. There we go. When it's not wrapped up on stuff, it does. Okay, you're gonna prove me wrong today, aren't you? You. I've never had any problems with it, and then when it comes time to show, it wants to act crazy. So it actually acts like an umbrella. So as you bring up the little arm, you can see it poof out, and then the little piece holds. So as you're winding the yarn, you have your hank on there, and this will spin around. Kind of cool beans. So the hank that I'm going to show and demonstrate how you actually undo it is bum bum bum. This is for the bougie blanket. The first 3 hanks that I'm gonna cake up for the bougie blanket are these 3. Because these are the colors for the centerpiece of the blanket. So I'm gonna cake up these first. So the one, I mean, black is a wash. You know, you can't see the black all that great. You can't see the black all that great. But I thought, okay, we can do the blue, and the blue's awful dark too. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to do the gray one, because I think this one will kind of show, because it's not as dark. So when you get a hank, whether it be like this one's Malabrigo Rios. If it's Malabrigo or if it's Noro, like a Noro hank, any of the hanked yarn, it's going to come basically like this. So what you do is you carefully undo it. And so see, it unwinds and there's a center. So that's what you, when you unwind the hank, that's what you have. Which is this. Which is a smiley face. So this is what you have in once you undo the hank. Now, a tip, advice, a word to the wise. Do not, please, if you spent the money for like this kind of a hank, do not just like lay it on the floor or like cut the strings off of it and think you're gonna dang it, think that you're gonna you're gonna either knit or you're gonna crochet off of it, because what you're gonna end up is a hell of a mess and you're not gonna be happy, because it's yarn. Talk about yarn barf to the extreme. So I know there's different ways of doing it. If you don't have the Swift and the ball winder, and I know I didn't show you my little ball winder here. Come on. So this is the ball winder I have. It's very similar to a lot of them that are out there. I bought the Swift and the ball winder as a pair. So they're both the same brand, the Oli Craft. But I've had this, like I said, for quite a while, and it's caked up quite a few hanks. So it's a good little ball winder. I know. Some people, it looks the same, but it's a different brand of ball winder. It's kind of a general looking one. I know Juan uses one that's similar to this. That's when he cakes up his stuff. He's caking it up with that little like ball winder like that. He also has the bigger one. I have a bigger one. I tend to use it more for like the bigger stuff, like Karen, for when I'm gonna have a like humongous ball, a humongous cake. But back to the plan. So we have our hank here, and we've been careful with it not to let it tangle up, and it's still all, see, it has on these hanks, it has these little, you see the little strings on the hank. That's what's holding it together. So what you want to do is, like what I do, is put the hank over the Swift and kind of hold it, like I hold it like this, and then open. Come on, don't act. There we go. And then you open the Swift and you have a nice, your hank is not going to go anywhere except onto the ball winder. So once it's on there, that's half the battle. If you don't have a Swift and you and you've bought like ones in hanks, like yarn in hanks, I know there's a way of doing it over a chair, and then you can like wrap it, like ball it up. Some people do that. Most of the yarn stores, like every one of the yarn stores that Rebecca and I have gone into, have a wall winder there, and they'll be happy to wind it for you. It may take a few minutes, depending on if you go in there on a Saturday, it may take a little bit, because of just how busy the shop is, as to how they can do it. So now once you've got your your Swift I guess loaded, I'm not sure that's what you call it, but let's go with it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go around the hank, and there will be one knot like this, which is where the two ends of the hank are tied. This is the end of the hank and the beginning of the hank. So they're tied up, they're tied together. As such. So what you're going to do is go around, and you can see like where the tag is. It's got the white. It's always like a white or contrasting string. So it'll have that string there. Basically, you clip that, and then like I go around and then clip the next one, which is here. And typically, like you can see, they're tied through different parts of the hank. And so you clip one, and this, when you gently pull on it, it'll all come out. Like it comes out really easily. It just slides out. And so you take those off. This Malabrigo hank has 1, 2. It's got 2 ties on it, plus the tie for the beginning and end. So once you've clipped these off, and you get back to your main one, which is the end and the beginning of the hank. So you can see in between there how it's tied, and you can also see which one goes which way, the way it's tied. So for this hank, the one that's the beginning one is this one. This side, if you're looking at the little knot, it's this side, that's the beginning of the hank. Because what it does is it'll be on the, like, see how it is on the outside as the hank goes around the Swift? So that's the outside yarn. And that's the yarn you want to attach to your the ball winder. So you want to cut it, you cut both of them. You cut here, and take the little piece off. And then it actually has, this is tied like through there, and you gently untie that, because once you untie this, you're rocking and rolling. It's at that point, it's on. See? So then what you do, that's when when you catch your line, you put it to your ball winder, and then you start cranking very gently. Let me see here. This is a little too close. My Swift, and what you want to do is the Swift and the ball winder, you want to keep about a few feet apart. I don't like it close together. I want it like about 3-4 feet apart, so that you have a length of yarn in between the two when you're caking stuff up. So give me a sec, and I'm gonna switch, and I will show you how I cake it up. Okay, so as you can see, I have my hank sitting here. This is the stuff that came off of the hank. So my hank is on the Swifter and the Swift, and I've cut off all of the threads that hold it on, like hold it together. I am cutting the last one right now. And I'm sorry, it's so, and there we have it. Now it's ready to roll. So now, as you can see, I'm going to put this through here on my ball winder. Put that, and I like to I'll make a loop. I make a loop on the end of my yarn, so that way I can see, like, if you're digging around for the if you're digging around for the beginning of the beginning of the skein, I have my loop already in there. So then I put that through the ball winder. I give this the Swift is gonna spin pretty freely for the most part. So what you want to do is have some tension in between. You want to have tension between the Swift and the ball winder. So I tend to hold it, and then you just start going around. And now the Swift will spin like pretty freely, and you just go at an even pace. I don't like them too tight, but you don't want them to be too loose either. So you just crank it, and as you can see, I'm holding a little tension on it, because what the Swift will do is it'll just spin like a crazy thing. If you try and do it like straight from the Swift without having any like tension in between them, it tends to just like spin. So see, easy peasy. So you just, it's oddly satisfying. You just kind of give it a little crank, and it has its own like little speed to it. Come on. Every once in a while, you'll hit like a funky spot. Come on. See, and off I go. So see, look at guys, we're putting this, we're balling up a ball of Malabrigo, a hank of Malabrigo. We're caking it up. So see, it's pretty simple. It'll take once you actually like get the Swift and put the hank on in, and this part's, you know, pretty straightforward. You just crank. I like to do this on some of the, like if I have like big carrot cakes and stuff, I'll if I'm only going to be using like half of it, or if I have a skein of yarn, I tend to like to ball them up, because I like them in the ball form, or in the cake form. See, and I've got my Swift fairly close to the ball winder, and so it tends to on some of it not play nice, because it needs a little space in between. There we go. So we're almost done. There's like 3 or 4 strands. And there is a hank of Malabrigo. So what I do is, it's tight on there. So what I'll do is I'll cut off most of this, like about there. And there's 2, there's like a bunch of little, but you can see. So what I'll do is I'll tie that just in an overhand knot. You can, another idea, see, it's off the, you have your slip knot, is put the slip knot through. Come on. So the center of your cake is out. And then what I do is I'll fold this in half, So you have all your information on the yarn here, and then hold it like in the middle of the ball winder, and then just slide it off. So now you have your center pull right there, or you can take it from the outside. Whichever way you wanna pull from the hank. So, and there you go. There is a hank of Malabrigo Rios Tormenta. So I've got a couple more hanks to do. What I'll do is, while we're sitting here having a good time, I'm gonna open up this blue one, so you can see what the blue one, when it's caked up, what it looks like. So the same thing, we have our hank that's undone. Look at the colors in that. Like, the colors are like beautiful. This is the Wales Road. So it's the purples and the blues. So it's really pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the Swift, which is shy and off screen. So you can so I'm holding it on the Swift. See, there's my Swift. So there's the Swift, and I'm gonna hold it. Oh, nuts. Come on. And open the Swift. I don't know why it's not cooperating. So it's now on the Swift. And I've opened the Swift up. Sorry, guys. So we have our ball. We have our hanks of Malabrigo. So I'm gonna undo this one real quick. And if you hear me screaming, that's because I actually cut the yarn. But I haven't done that. I haven't done that in a while, so we're good. Because I did one time cut the string in the wrong place, and yeah. So this one is the Wales Road that I'm going to cake up. So there's all of the stuff for the Wales Road. And now to cut this one. And there we have it for the Wales Road. So what I'm going to do is, so we have the hank on the Swift. So I'm going to put the through there. Put that through. And off we go. So now we're doing our second hank of Malabrigo, and this is my, like, out of the Malabrigo line, the DK, which is the Arroyo, and the Rios are my two favorites. And this is Rios, is what this one is, as you can see on the tag. Or not so much on the tag. There we go. So there we go. And just keep cranking. I know there's an electric one you can get. I've seen them, but I like the hand crank because it actually gives me a little better control over it. The electric ones, I know I put the electric on the Centro, and it was crazy. It was a lot harder to keep control of, and with it being like on this hand crank, it's a lot easier if there's like a knot, or if there's like sometimes you'll have like a split where the yarn is tied together, and it's easier, to take care of that right then than it actually is on the electric one, where it flies and it just keeps going, and it's harder to catch that stuff. So crankety crank. So see, it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat to do this. And so I actually, the one that cakes up all of our yarn, for both Rebecca and I. So I'm getting to be quite the expert. But like I said, like on different skeins, like I've used like Karen and stuff like that. I've caked it up. Oh wow, this is really pretty. So let me get my Wales Road tag here. which is actually tied on here pretty good. So I'm not going to be too worried about that. So my nifty scissors, cut off that, take this out, run it through here. Because some of the will have like tags like this, some of them won't. So with the Malabrigo, this is how I do it. So I'll put the yarn through there. So your tags on the yarn. So you don't have to monkey with your center pull if you want a center pull. So it's Wales Road. I'm going to fold this over. Put that in the middle. Put that in the middle of the cake. And then it just slides right off. So now you have the name of the what's caked up. Sometimes it does this on the bottoms, which is not a problem. So there you have the cake, the first cake of Wales Road. Isn't that pretty? The purples and the blues. I think it's going to be stunning. And look at the two together. It's going to be, I know the light kind of doesn't do it justice, but I'm looking at it in person and it's beautiful. It's a really pretty combination. So with that, I've got one more. I've got a black one to do, which I will do that off camera because the black, you don't see the black. So let me switch. The hanks are running away. So we caked up two of them. And so let me switch the camera and we'll follow up. Okay? See you guys in a second. See, and now you can see the yarn coming off of the Swift. And that's how we work it. And you just keep cranking and you can see it spins, so I keep this hand on the yarn to keep it tight. Because if you really crank on that ball winder, this thing it spins free, there's no tension. So this thing will whip around and you'll end up with knots. So that's why I keep the yarn in this hand. See? Easy peasy. My Swift here, and we've done 2 cakes of Malabrigo, which is the Wales Road, which is really pretty, and the Tormenta, which is really pretty also. So that's how I use my Swift and my ball winder. I know other people have different techniques to do it. And if you're caking up the just like skeins like this, if you want to cake them up, you don't need the Swift. You can just either center pull it or pull it from the outside and just cake it up. So it works. It works with these two. You don't need the Swift, but for hanks, if you're gonna get some of the bougie yarn, a lot of it comes in hanks, and the Swift comes in very handy. If you don't have them caked up, if you want to leave them in hanks until you're ready to do your project, that's that's what I do. And from what I've heard, it's better for the yarn to leave it just in the hank until you're ready to use it. So with that, if you have any questions or anything, you can email me at therockincrocheter@gmail.com. It's ROKIN. Excuse me. There's no G in it. It's Rockin' Crocheter at Gmail. If you have any questions on this or So with that, let's wrap this up because I gotta start crocheting on this blanket, and I need to ball up one more hank and a black hank and then wool. Then I'm getting rocking and rolling this weekend on this. So Rebecca, do you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
So
Have a wonderful evening.
So she's doing her thing, and I've got to get rolling on mine. So we'll see you guys. We'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.